Hey, this is Bond Diesel, and today I'm bringing you my thoughts on the Division 2 2019 E3 presentation and news drop. So, the first thing they dropped on us was that from June 13th to the 16th, the game will be free to play on all platforms. If you have any friends that were hesitant to play or that you wanted to play with, grab onto them, bring them in, let them check it out. Then onto the big news. So episode 1 was clarified and was said to be coming out in July, right around the corner. It's going to have 2 new story missions. One will be outside of the city in the woods, attacking a presidential compound that has been taken over by the Black Tusk. The second mission will be at the zoo, going after the outcast leader that escaped when we went into Roosevelt Island. The other feature of episode 1 will be a new Kinley College area. This is going to be the first expedition, so it sounds like there may be more of these. And it sounds like it's going to involve like exploration and puzzles to find a lost military convoy, and that it's not just going to be a mission like we've typically seen. We do know it's going to consist of 3 areas that once you beat them, you can go back to them and explore. And once you beat all 3 of them, a treasure room will open up with rewards and loot. Episode 2 was detailed and talked about being located at the Pentagon, and the Pentagon's been taken over by the Black Tusk, and they're trying to dig out the secrets of the Pentagon, and we have to stop them. Episode 2 will also come with the second raid. This will be at a foundry that's been taken over by the True Sons, and this will probably be in the fall sometime. And then the final episode, which was, I think, the biggest surprise of the show, in my opinion, obviously as a Division fan, but we're going to return to New York City in some capacity, and it sounds like to possibly hunt Keener, but maybe there's some other possibilities. The location of the trailer was in Coney Island, and there was a really long shot of Manhattan in flames. The DC agents that have DC clothing on and such kill a cleaner who's burning stuff on the beach, and the agents are wearing like Division 2 stuff, and it's in the middle of the summer, and it's in Coney Island. You see Coney Island everywhere. There's some iconic rides and stuff. One thing to keep in mind is that the cover art of this 3rd episode has an agent wearing a mask, and the words manhunt are very specifically said, which I thought was interesting. The last bit of news, the movie was reconfirmed. It still has Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain. It still has the same director. It's the guy who did Deadpool 2. And this time they've announced and they've clarified that it will be made in cahoots with Netflix. And I'll talk about that. So there's the news. If that's all you wanted, thanks for listening. Here's some of my thoughts. So I think it's cool that we're gonna have a free weekend coming up. Completely free, all platforms. Great way for people to check it out. If anyone thought these DLCs sounded cool, they probably already have the game. But if not, it's a great opportunity to check it out. The DLC 1 stuff appears to be 2 new story missions and new activity called expeditions. The expedition was described this way. These sites offer unique challenges and lore not found anywhere else, new collectibles, treasure rooms, environmental puzzles, unique boss mechanics, and more. So it sounds like this won't be the last one. It sounds like it's going to be kind of like a mini map, like we'll go to it and it'll be its own little enclosed map. This one is going to be at Kinley College, which I don't know if that's a real college or not. I assume it's a renamed environment that they've used as inspiration. And we go, and there's stuff to do. But after you do it, you can still explore, look around, and find some of this extra stuff. So I'm kind of curious to how replayable this is going to be. But I think it sounds different and cool. It's not survival. I know that's what everyone wanted. I think we're gonna have to wait quite a while for something like survival. On that note, I think it's worth remembering that while a lot of us really like survival, it wasn't really that popular, if anyone remembers the player population of it. And it kind of makes sense from a financial standpoint that maybe it's not a top priority, but hopefully one day. The other part of episode 1 is the 2 new story missions. So one is at the zoo, where you're going to be hunting the outcast leader that escaped us. and the other one will be at a presidential compound. It might be Camp David. I don't know if we're really going to go that far, but we may. Um, and we're going to be fighting the Black Tusk there. So it sounds like those are just going to be kind of typical story missions. It is kind of cool that they're like off map. I suspect that I think it said that there's still going to be a way to look on the map and get them going and queue for them. But I believe you can also get to them through the helicopter. So the helicopter pad is not just for raids. Apparently it's going to be for expeditions and even missions as well. I'm excited. I think this DLC is going to be great. I'm sure they're going to have some kind of event go along with it, like clothing event. I bet there's still going to be little extra things added, maybe new NPCs, maybe new weapons, maybe new gear, maybe new gear sets, maybe some redone gear sets. We'll have to wait and see. The episode 2 with the Pentagon, details are pretty limited. I think this is going to be an underground-ish type of mode where it may be kind of like an endlessly replayable area that we can go to. Maybe it has different objectives, maybe has something like that, but I bet it's going to be kind of like a randomly generated type of thing, kind of taking what we had in the underground but expanded. If you don't know, I believe even today the Pentagon is the largest square footage office building in the entire world. So while it may not look that big or not that imposing, you have to consider how many floors down it goes, which is probably a lot more than people would think, and how many rings there are. It's a really big building. It has lots of stuff, and from a game lore perspective, I think it sounds really cool that Black Tusk is going there, probably wanting to find out about all kinds of stuff that will help them in their search for power, and really probably on the orders of whoever is paying them. And then finally, we had episode 3, the big drop. I think I really wasn't expecting. I thought this may happen eventually, but I definitely didn't think of it for year 1. But we're going back to New York City. I thought the little trailer was awesome. That gave us some clues. I'm gonna dig through it and see if I can find anything that really gets me going. But it was just cool seeing agents kill cleaners again, man. I think it'll be fun. I'll be interested to see how the AI, the new AI, which I think is way more advanced, even with its issues, than Division 1, how that's going to play into the cleaners. If you listen to some of the lore, the cleaners appear to be even more powerful than they used to be, where the LMB and the Rikers and the rioters have all kind of lost some of their power, but they're still around. So I wonder if we're only going to fight the cleaners, if we're going to fight all of the factions again. I'm going to be really curious, but the thing is it really heavily implies that we're going after Keener. But something I noticed is that in the trailer there's only 3 agents, and they talk about Manhunt a lot, and so I wonder if this mode is actually going to be something to do with us hunting another agent. If someone's gonna like play as a Keener and we have to hunt them or something like that. It's just the only 3 agents being in the picture during the whole deal is interesting to me, and I maybe it was just an artistic decision, but maybe it was a clue as well to what we're actually going to be doing. I'm willing to reach. And then the final thing, the movie. I think the Division of all games has like a cool sci-fi-ish story, but still realistic enough that it could just be a regular movie plot. It's not, so many games are so hard to recreate as a movie. I think Division has the best chance of any to actually be good, but that doesn't mean it will be. There's some big star power behind it. I know the Netflix thing is kind of scary because some of their movies are really bad, but some of them are pretty good. And a combination of Ubisoft and fat bottomless pockets by Netflix could mean a good movie. I think there's a lot of tools that could be used to make it really good. The thing is about a movie for Division is honestly, the smaller the scope of the movie, probably the better. If this is literally just going to be about like Gyllenhaal and her, oh my gosh, Jessica Chastain, as 2 agents who there are 2 other people in their squad get killed, and they have to go stop the power plant from being shut down. It could be as simple as that, and that would probably be really good. To not make it like they have to take down the entire Rikers organization and hunt down Keener all in one movie. But who knows? I'm not a writer. I have no idea. But there's my summary. There's my thoughts on the 2019 E3 presentation for the Division 2. Through the week, I'll collect information that they give out during streams and stuff like that. I'm sure there's going to be some showcase maybe of episode 1. And I will cover it maybe in a video, but definitely in the podcast at the end of the week. And yeah, so if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, like it, and comment down below with what you think. Bond Diesel is the username on Twitch, where I stream multiple times a week, and that's where you can find me on Twitter. If you want more Division 2 discussion and updates, check out my podcast, The Echo Cast. It's on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, and basically everywhere else you can think of. That's all I have, so until next time.
1, 2, 3, jump!